It's time for this week's Sound Off. 3 headlines that happened over the week. Stephen Shamus filed a counterclaim against Wizard. He alleges he's owed over $1 million because he was put in the hospital. He had a panic attack, and Wizard has been alleging that he's committed fraud, embezzled funds from the company. If you didn't know, he was on the board. He was one of their CEOs. So that's a big deal. BleedingCool.com will be following this news story as it develops. George Peréz, to fulfill current commitments, then stopped attending shows in Trump states. He had a pretty intense opinion on the election. He really didn't want Trump to win, so he has canceled his future plans for Trump voting states. He will continue on in Clinton states, and he's affirmed this on Twitter. CGC, the only slabbing service allowed within the walls of C2E2 and ECCC until 2020. So a slabbing service is kind of an appraisal for comics, and this may mark the beginning of some intense slabbing wars between the different companies that do this. So we'll watch out for that in the future at cons that definitely are comic focused. It's a big deal to commit to one slabber. The Sound Off picture last week was name a movie that you think nobody has seen. So again, Alexandra Athena has held it down for us on Facebook. The Pest, I haven't seen that one. And on Instagram we had a lot more answers. The Last Mimsy, let's see, The Last Broadcast. It's a Blair Witch style film about the Jersey Devil made before the Blair Witch Project, but that's really cool. The Chum Scrubber. You Don't Mess with Zohan. Mosquito Coast, Crossbow and Click, The Last Unicorn, The History Boys, Repo, The Genetic Opera, which sounds really familiar to me for some reason, Candy, and Mirror Mask. I actually saw Mirror Mask. I really love Neil Gaiman's short stories and not as much of a fan of his novels. And I was looking for a few more things after, I think Stardust was the name of that one movie that came out in theaters. I was a little disappointed in that movie. I didn't really love it. So I was seeking out other visual things that he's done, and I ran into Mirror Mask. I liked that movie a lot better. It was still very theoretical, a little bit symbolic, but it was, to me, it kind of represented more of Neil Gaiman's typical writing style. The con tip of the week: how to avoid awkward moments at conventions. So I don't really think that you can avoid an awkward moment per se. Sometimes a social interaction, it just happens. I think that people make silences awkward. I'm personally pretty comfortable with silence, and I think the thing that makes a silence awkward is when someone's like, you know, obviously looking for things to do, just feeling really uncomfortable. I think it makes everyone else feel uncomfortable. My only tip would be just get used to them. I mean, the more you know the people you're with, I know there's a lot of awkward situations at conventions. Sometimes you don't really know everyone that you're with very well. You know, if it's like a roommate situation, friends you don't see very often, just cosplay friends, or people that you've seen at the convention for a number of years and you finally want to talk to them. It can be really awkward meeting somebody like that, but at the same time, you kind of have to just push forward. You know, think about what's going on in their life, what's going on in your life, what common thing do you have an interest in that you can talk about a little more, like ask them questions, or just listen to them if they're talking a lot. A lot of managing awkwardness, I feel, is really just getting used to that social interaction and not feeling so uncomfortable, at least not displaying it so much that the other person feels uncomfortable. So the cosplay of the week was Donovan and Sarah, cosplaying Judge Doom and Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They were photographed by Cosplay in America, so you can head over to their page to see that little interview blurb with them. The page model segment this week is NPC Cosplay. They do a lot of really cool group cosplay, and it's really nice to see that whole representation of a favorite series, comics, something like that. So definitely check them out. They're really good. They have a Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube. and it's NPC Cosplay, non-player character cosplay. Social media, we've got the dealer spotlight this week is KarasCCLC, and that's KarasCC as in cat, L as in Larry, C as in cat. And they make really cool high-quality Pokemon badges. I know Sun and Moon came out, and everyone was really anticipating that. I suggest you give them a look. They have some really cool stuff. So our artist spotlight this week is Arkeis, and that's Arkeis, tying in with our Sun and Moon theme. We've got a lot of Pokemon fan art going on with that artist. You should definitely check it out. Tip Tuesday, what is the best way that you and your friends keep in contact with each other? Here at the Fans POV, we talk over the Facebook group chat. I know a lot of my friends do group chat texts. Some people hate that. I watch a lot of my friends on Instagram to see what they're up to. Some people use Snapchat. So you guys, chip into what is your favorite way of keeping in touch with your friends. Watchin Wednesday is one of my personal favorites. It's chocolate. So it's a movie that, despite the sweet title, it was directed by the director of Ong Bak. So it has a lot of really cool martial arts in there. And it's not just any martial art, it's Muay Thai, which is a really cool thing to watch. A lot of elbows and knees. The lead actress just makes it look so effortless and beautiful. It's a great movie, so if you love martial arts, you should give it a try. Music Monday, the DC Cosplay General Shoot at the National Portrait Gallery was really nice. Ernie did a great job with it. It was the Mannequinn Challenge, so you might have seen a few of those floating around on social media. It's really cool watching it done with cosplay, especially kind of the mashup of different shows and genres and comics and things like that the cosplayers had there. So it's really cool to see them all together. Fresh Crew Studios over in London, they have a cosplay music video from MCM London Comic Con, and they got a lot of really nice clear night shots, some really spectacular cosplay. You should check that out on YouTube. Throwback Thursday, we're waiting in line at Otakon 2009, so I was there, I just wasn't with the Fans POV, but if you're feeling a little chilly lately, since we're getting into the winter months, you want to remember that scorching heat, take a look at that. It's our Throwback Thursday. Feature Friday, Christmas at the Gaylord National Harbor last year in 2015. So I didn't know this, but the Gaylord has a Christmas kind of light show. All the town areas decorated with Christmas decorations. They do like a light show at the fountain. It's really beautiful, and Ernie filmed it. You should check it out. Saturday skit is What the? An Evil Within skit from Anime Central 2016, so that was this year. It's really well acted. They definitely have a great sense of humor. You should watch that over on our YouTube channel. So convention update. Our cosplay page model Shazuhime will be at WinterCon in Queens, New York on December 3rd and 4th, so it's coming up soon, a few weeks here. And Ernie will be at the DC Cosplay Star Wars shoot on December 4th at the National Building Museum in Washington, D.C. So if you guys are in the area, you have a Star Wars cosplay that you want shot, definitely head over there, or, just come to participate. The sound off picture for this week is, what is your favorite anime that only had one season? So a lot of the anime I like only has one season because it's it's usually like a 12 episode or a 26 episode deal, and I like shorter anime like that, but I think more the point of the question is, did it get canceled or something like that, or do you wish there was more to it, or did the manga stop, like Tokyo Ghoul, for instance. The manga hadn't quite gotten there yet, so they wrapped it up themselves. I liked it. I had no problem with the ending. Some people don't like it. It's not very true to the manga, and I heard they're kind of redoing it maybe in the future. They were thinking about a season 2. I don't know what's going on with it now. So follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope, and we also have a Tumblr. Chrissy will be hosting next week, and I'll see you guys in another month.